Hello and welcome. This is Bob Milam from the Salt Lake chapter of the Utah High School Football Officials Association with today's updated video on penalty enforcement. We've made some changes to the video and updated it for the 2019 season. So we hope you enjoy this presentation. So the big picture, what we're going to talk about today is this: the enforcement of the vast majority of penalties. And we're going to teach you how to do most of the penalty enforcements. Now, we're not going to climb into the dusty corners or call out any water bucket plays here, but we are going to teach you how to handle the enforcement of most penalties. So let's begin. The overview of the process is basically 3 steps. And this occurs by asking 3 questions: when, where, and who. First, when did the foul occur? During what type of play? Based on this, where is the basic spot? And then once you have the basic spot, determining the enforcement spot. And remember this acronym, asking when did the foul occur, where did the foul occur, and who committed the foul. By asking these 3 questions, you'll be able to get most penalties correct. Other things to consider later on your own are listed here. So please remember your penalty yardages, the automatic first down fouls, any special enforcements or other special penalty enforcements for overtime rules. So make sure that you communicate also as a crew together and get the number of the person who committed the foul. But we're not going to consider this today. Today we're going to talk about the specifics of how to enforce most penalties. This begins by determining the basic spot. And the basic spot comes from one of 4 time intervals that occur during a football game. This is the when. The first interval is a dead ball. This is between downs, or most non-contact and non-player fouls are penalized as dead ball fouls. If the ball isn't dead, then it must be live. And this is during play, during a down. If it's live, it's either in somebody's possession or it's not. The rules call this either a loose ball play or a running play, and they're defined in the rules that you see here. But you've got to make sure that you understand that a loose ball play is very different than a loose ball. But these are the 2 basic intervals: loose ball play, running play, and then dead ball. The final one are fouls that are simultaneous with the snap. These include illegal formation, illegal motion, illegal shift, etc. So from this, by determining which of these 4 intervals your foul occurred in, you can determine the basic spot for penalty enforcement. Now, there are exactly 6 and only 6 basic spots. 3 of them are normal. We use them all the time. 3 of them are weird. We use them very infrequently. The 3 normal ones are these: the succeeding spot. This is where the ball will next be put in play. The previous spot. This is where the ball was last put in play. And the end of the run. These are defined in the rules listed there. So please go to your rule book and understand how they're defined. The 3 weird spots are these: the post-scrimmage kick enforcement spot, which is the end of the kick. We call it the PSK spot for short. The goal line for fouls by B during a safety, or the 20-yard line for fouls by B during a touchback. These are the 6 and only 6 basic spots that the high school rule book uses in penalty enforcement. So what you have to do is choose the right basic spot, because one and only one basic spot is used for each foul based on when the foul occurs. So just memorize this chart that compares the play to the basic spot. So if your foul occurs during a dead ball, the basic spot is always the succeeding spot. If it occurs during a running play or after the momentum exception, then your basic spot is the end of the run. If it occurs during a loose ball plays or fouls simultaneous with the snap, the basic spot is the previous spot. There's your 3 normal basic spots. If your foul occurs during a PSK and the criteria for PSK will be covered later in the presentation. Then your basic spot is the end of the kick. Fouls by B on a safety, it's the goal line. Fouls by B on a touchback, it's the 20-yard line. Those are your basic spots, and you just have to memorize this chart. We'll give you a cheat card that'll help you do this. But by determining when your foul occurred, you assign one of these 6 basic spots, and only one, for the enforcement of the penalty. But the basic spot is just that. It's a basic spot. You now need to figure out what the enforcement spot will be. This is done by applying the live ball all but one principle to fouls that are live ball fouls or those that do not occur simultaneous with the snap. They are exempt from this process. But for all other fouls, Rule 10.6 covers the all but one principle. And I want you to think of it and learn it like this. Think of a 2x2 matrix. Across the top, we're going to ask who committed the foul, the offense or the defense. And the rows in our chart are where did the foul occur, in front of the basic spot or behind the basic spot. And by figuring this out, we'll fill in all 4 quadrants on this chart. So let's do that. If it's a foul by the offense in front of the basic spot, we'll enforce it from the basic spot. Similarly, a foul by the defense in front of the basic spot, and a foul by the defense behind the basic spot. Now you'll notice here that we filled in all three of the 4 quadrants. We filled in all but one, and guess what? That one's different. So if it's a foul by the offense behind the basic spot, we will penalize from the spot of the foul. That's what they mean by the all but one principle. All of the basic spots are used as the enforcement spot, except if it's a foul by the offense behind the basic spot. So let's review this 2-step process. First, find the basic spot using this chart. Second, apply the live ball all but one principle for fouls that are not dead ball fouls or simultaneous with the snap. Do it in this order by asking when, where, and who. And remember, use this process every time. Don't take shortcuts. It's very, very easy to make errors in this process unless you follow this basic philosophy. So I urge you strongly to do just that. So let's take a look at some examples. We're going to look at 7 plays here on film that talk about this. So play number 1 is going to be a chop block. Situation is we're 2nd and 11 from the A21. Now let's run the clip and you'll see the chop block occur. Watch the defensive tackle for White. There he goes, the high-low double team on number 54. All right, let's take a look and let's ask the previous spot. Let's get all the details and the facts straight here. The previous spot was the A21. The foul occurred basically right at the A21. The result was a run to the A18. Let's keep the play going here, and you can watch it again. Watch the center and the right guard. There's the illegal block. The quarterback runs the ball and is tackled for a 3-yard loss. So when did this foul occur? Well, the answer is during a running play. So the basic spot for a foul during a running play, according to our chart, is the end of the run. That's the A18. Who commits the foul, offense or defense? Offense in this case. And is this committed ahead of or behind the basic spot? Well, the basic spot is the end of the run, which is the A18. Our foul occurs 3 yards beyond. So the foul is ahead of the basic spot. This is the upper left quadrant in our chart. So our enforcement is half the distance from the A18. Let's go to play number 2. 2nd and 9 from the A36, and let's run this clip, and you're going to see an instance of pass interference down the field. The previous spot is the A36. The spot of the foul is going to occur way downfield at the B30. So as the quarterback throws the ball, there's some contact at the end of the play before the ball gets there, and the back judge rules pass interference on the defense. The result of the play is an incomplete pass. So when did this foul occur? Well, according to the rules, this is during a loose ball play. So our basic spot will be the previous spot, which is the A36. Who commits this foul? Well, the defense does. And do they commit it ahead of or behind the basic spot? It's well ahead of the basic spot. So we will use the previous spot as our enforcement spot. This is the upper right quadrant on your chart. The enforcement will be 15 yards from the A36 and will head in the direction of the offense, giving them a first down since they had 9 yards to go for the line to gain. Let's look at play number 3. Watch the tailback. The tailback is hit and spun around by the face mask at the 39-yard line. He is then tackled at the 41. So we were 1st and 10 from the 41. The previous spot is the 41. Spot of the foul was the 39. We'll run the play again so you can watch. The result was a run to the 41. So that's the end of our run is at the 41. When did this foul occur? Well, it's during a running play. Therefore, our basic spot will be the end of the run, which is the A41. Who commits the foul? The defense does. So where do they commit this foul? Ahead of or behind the basic spot? In this case, it's 2 yards behind. So we will penalize 15 yards from the A41. This is the lower right quadrant of the chart. So we've covered 3 of the 4 quadrants. Now let's see the 4th quadrant. 2nd and 4 from the A36. And I want you to watch the wide receiver at the 40-yard line. He commits a hold at the 41. The wing official catches the hold and throws his flag. So the previous spot on this play is the 36. The spot of the foul is the 41. And the result of the play is a run to the A47. Now, when did this foul occur? And this is a tough question. Let's watch the play again. Had the loose ball play ended before the foul occurred? Yes, this is a foul during a running play. Since the runner has the ball in his possession, the loose ball play has ended and we are now in a running play. Very important distinction here. So this is a running play and our basic spot will be the end of the run, which is the 47. Who commits the foul? The offense does. And where do they commit the foul? Behind the basic spot. In fact, 6 yards behind the basic spot at the A41. So since this is a foul by the offense behind the basic spot, we'll enforce this one from the spot of the foul. 10 yards from the A41. Let's look at play number 5. This is 2nd and 6 from the A48. And I want you to watch the quarterback in shotgun formation, now standing at the 42-yard line. The quarterback is about to go down and he dumps the ball into an area where grounding is called. This is intentional grounding on this play. So the previous spot was the 48. The spot of the foul is way back at the 35-yard line. That's where he released the illegal pass. Let's watch it again, and you'll see him throw it from about the 35-yard line. That's where the flag should be. The result of the play is an incomplete pass. So when did this foul occur? This is a loose ball play because the foul occurred as a result of this pass. The basic spot will be the previous spot at the 43-yard line, or 48-yard line, I'm sorry. Previous spot is the 48-yard line. Who commits the foul? The offense does. Where was this foul committed? Well behind the basic spot at the 35. So our enforcement, 5 yards and loss of down from the A35. All right, here's play number 5. Let's go to that one. This is a punt. We're punting from the 40-yard line. And let's watch what happens. Watch the wide receiver at the bottom of the screen. At the 30-yard line, he's held, and the wing official throws his flag. And the punt goes into the end zone. So the previous spot was the R40 on this play. And the spot of the foul was the R30-yard line. Let's watch it again as we go through this. The result of the play is a touchback. When does this foul occur? During the kick. So this is during a loose ball play. The basic spot for this foul is what? During a loose ball play. The basic spot is the PSK spot or the touchback. This is a foul by B during a touchback and also a PSK foul because all the PSK criteria apply here. So our basic spot is going to be, in this case, the end of the kick, which results in a touchback. And so we're going to take this foul to the 20-yard line. Who commits the foul? The receiving team. And where is the spot of the foul? It's ahead of the basic spot. We are going to enforce this as half the distance from the R20. Then it will be ours ball, 1st and 10. This one's a complicated one. Watch it again. Watch the play again and note all of the factors that come into play. But when you sort it out using the basic philosophy, enforcement of this complicated penalty can be very easy, should be very easy for most crews to get. All right, finally, let's look at this play. This play, you cannot actually see the foul that occurs, but it will occur downfield at the 15-yard line against the tight end on the right side of the formation. As he leaves the screen, he's held, forcing the quarterback to scramble and run out of bounds. So the previous spot was the 34-yard line. The spot of the foul was way downfield at the 15. And I apologize that you can't see it in this clip. But the result is that the quarterback runs out of bounds at the B 39-yard line. So when does this foul occur? This is during a running play, since no pass was thrown. The basic spot for a running play is always the end of the run, which in this case is the B 39. Who commits this foul? The defense does. And do they commit it? Where do they commit it? It's well ahead of the basic spot. Now in this case, because it's a running play, we will not enforce this from the previous spot. We enforce it from the spot where he goes out of bounds, 10 yards from the B 39. Again, follow the philosophy and don't get caught up in the fact that you might try to penalize the team that commits the foul in the worst way possible. That's an old wives' tale that just simply is not true in a lot of cases. So special enforcements, in addition to the things we've covered today, there's a lot of different things that have happened since the last time we presented this presentation. 2018 rule change to fouls during a kick down committed by K. All of these other things need to be reviewed under special enforcements in Rule 5. But we're not going to cover that in this session today. We've taken enough of your time already. But we have prepared a couple of helps for you. This cheat sheet card you can keep in your pocket as you prepare for games. Print it off, make copies of it, pass it around. This is the process. The first, finding the basic spot. Second, the live all but one matrix, along with some special rules down at the bottom. And on the back side of the card, we have the criteria for PSK, as well as some game-ending scoring penalty exceptions. This card was updated in July of 2019. So in summary, remember, read the rule in the casebook, watch more huddle film, share film and share ideas about complicated enforcements. Ask questions, highlight and share these questions and these plays. You can review this presentation as a video on www.ushsfoa.com. Finally, slow down. Go through the whole process each time. This is the most important thing I can teach you today about this process. Ask the type of play, the basic spot, and the enforcement spot by asking who, where, and when. Don't shortcut this process and don't guess at it. There's a very specific way to enforce penalties according to the rule book. Review your cheat sheet during your pre-games and become an informed communicator during games. Save your crew if you can. Finally, memorize the exceptions and the special enforcements that are in the rule book. And above all else, have a great football season this year. You can always contact me with any questions right here. Thanks. We'll see you next time.